Hello and welcome to Audarshia's live culinary series. I'm Audarshia Townsend and I am your host. Today I have Alpana Singh. She is a very well-known wine expert, sommelier, restaurateur, and the host of Check Please. So today we're going to talk about her brand new wine shop. She's actually carved out a part of her restaurant to add this wine shop where she's curated some of her favorite wines. So we're going to talk about that. A lot of restaurants have been doing that during this pandemic. They've been pivoting to add a little shop or a little flavor, just something a little different just to bring up sales. And Terra Vine is no different. I also want to give you a quick little story while I'm waiting for her about Alpana, which I thought was so fun. I see Ari is on, so he may know this, remember this, but he assigned me an article for this magazine called You Are Chicago. And I actually got to hang out with Alpana all over town. I got to tour with her, hang out with her, see wine from her perspective. So she takes me to all these like really cool places. We're sipping champagne. We're sipping some of the best wine in Chicago. And then Alpana, hey Ari, Alpana takes me to this bar, this dive, and she makes me drink Malort. Yes. So I guess in a sense, she broke my Malort cherry Malort, whatever. So yes, I'll never forget that she was the first person and the last person to ever make me drink Malort. So Alpana, she makes wine approachable. She makes booze in all sorts of ways approachable for people. So I want to talk to her right now. She's signing in right now. So we're going to chat right now.
How are you?
I'm great. Did you hear me tell that Malort
I
story?
just got the tail end of that story. That's so funny. I didn't realize that I had done that. That's so
You
funny.
don't you don't remember that you took me to the drawing room? It was after I think our fourth or fifth place.
Probably, yeah.
And you were like, have you ever heard of Malort? And I was like, what? And everybody got all excited. I was like, you
That was
got to try this. This was
that's
like
right, because
about,
that was back when Charles Jolie was behind the bar at the drawing room.
yeah, so this was about 12 years or so.
Wow.
And I had no idea what I was in store for. And when I can't believe you did that to me. I am so glad there were no camera phones then. Right.
Oh,
So I just had to relate that because I just feel that you've always made wine approachable and fun. You've never been one of those people that, kind of like, put it above people's heads. So I love that about you.
well, thank you. I try.
Yes. So
It's
what,
so funny that you're saying that because I'm working on the new wine list with for all the new wines we added,
mhm.
and I actually created a section on there for horoscope. So it's what's your wine horoscope?
Ooh. You got one for Virgo yet?
What Virgo? Yes, you are. Virgo is Sauvignon Blanc. Very neat,
Okay.
orderly, precise, clean, gets the job done. Very efficient. Yes.
That sounds about right. What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm rosé, the life of the party, with the sense of adventure and travel, and you know, always well, up until recently, always on an airplane. This is the
How
longest I've gone actually not being on an airplane.
how fun is that? Somebody just asked what's Cancer. Do you remember that one?
What's Cancer? Pinot Noir. So very attached to their sense of place, romantic, but also can be kind of moody and temperamental like Pinot Noir.
Hmm.
But when it's delicious, it'll sweep you off its feet or
That
your feet.
that is awesome. What an awesome concept.
Yeah, well, it
So
just kind of makes it a little more approachable and kind of tongue in cheek, and kind of sets the tone that we take wine seriously, but we don't take it very seriously.
somebody's asking for Gemini. Of course, you're going to start getting all of these. What's Gemini? Let's just go for
I
it.
know what's Virgo. Virgo, what was Virgo?
You just said it. You said it was
Oh yeah,
Sauvignon
yeah, it was
Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc because you're a Virgo. Yeah,
Gemini.
yep, perfect.
Gemini.
Gemini is Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, dual personalities. And so there are definitely two different sides to Pinot Grigio. From Italy, it's very light and crisp. And then when it's called Pinot Gris, grown in France or in Oregon, it's definitely more full bodied, a lot more fruit forward, and definitely rounder in texture. There's
Okay.
Ari Aries.
Ari,
It's so
you
funny.
gotta give Ari.
It's so funny that Ari's asking about Aries because I thought about what wine is Ari as I was putting this together. And Malbec. Very
Mmm.
bold, assertive, full body, bodacious, definitely
That
not shy.
that is Ari. That is so
Yes.
Ari. I love that concept. That is so awesome. So let's talk about how you came up with this whole wine shop for
Yes,
your
yes.
for Terra and Vine.
So what you see behind me, I'm actually going to flip this around. Okay. So what you see right
Wow.
here used to be highboy cocktail tables.
Okay.
And then this is the rest of the bar right here. And so the bar is not really getting used right now because of, people wanting to social distance and what have you. And so it's a perfectly good space. And then I'll kind of walk you also, show you the dining room. So you can kind of see the whole picture here. So then this is the dining room.
Okay.
The bar, and then the dining room. And so what we decided to do was, how do we activate this space? And I've always had this idea to do kind of like a wine shop where you can pick a bottle and then you can take it next door and enjoy it with your dinner. The big challenge here is how do you price it? Because when you see like the retail price, and then you're like, oh, the marked up price, like it's, it could be like, 3-4 times as much. And so, how do you do it? And so we just actually made a business decision that we would actually just charge less for wines, and instead of doing a 3-time markup, we're doing a very modest markup of like, let's just say something is $15 retail. We'll charge you 26, 27 to enjoy it at the restaurant. And then
Okay.
if you like it, then you can, take it home and enjoy it at home because obviously with quarantine and what's happening, people are wanting to, stay more at home and, you know, also, we come to restaurants and we discover all of these wines, and then if we like it, like, where can I get it? And so here we're like, if you love it, you can just go by next door and buy it. We're also going to integrate a commerce feature on our website so that you can order wines and then do curbside pickup. So we're going to do
Hmm.
that as well. And then also incorporate, Zoom wine tastings, maybe a wine club, send out recipes, just kind of really engage people who want to learn about wine and discover it. But I'm just really excited to be able to introduce people to wines at an affordable price.
Okay. So tell me about how you came up with the actual list, how you curated this entire list for your shop.
It's interesting that you asked that because up until recently it was predominantly an Italian wine list. We're an Italian
Hmm.
restaurant. And, but for a wine shop, you have to have like a pretty good selection of wines from all over. And we do have these wonderful wine shops throughout the Chicagoland area. And so we wanted to be able to, offer something that is a little bit different also, but then also kind of fits in with that theme. And so we're not offering things that you would get at like, other places. These are just wines that I have relationships with the wineries or, people that I like or, voices that I want to amplify. And just kind of like I said, just to kind of focus more on wines that you typically find at a restaurant, but you may not
Hmm.
find at a wine shop per se. So
Okay.
yeah, and then but you can still find like your Pinot Grigios and things like that. But really, it's more focused on sort of these boutique producers.
So you've personally tried every wine that's behind you.
Well, yeah. So I mean, some I already know are good. Others I've had in the past. Others I tried recently. It just sort of, like I said, wines that are just a little bit more unique and different. And also because we're smaller,
Hmm.
we can bring in a case of something, and then once it's gone, it's gone. Like your bigger places, they won't bother if it's just a case. They want to make sure they can get at least 10, 15 cases. And so
Hmm.
that's where we can work with more of those niche products.
Okay. And so will people have the opportunity to buy a bottle and sit at the bar and enjoy it
Yeah, no, that's
or
exactly
during
it.
dinner?
Yeah. They can either sit down and order from the wine list, and it has both the retail or the dine-in price, or they can just come to the bar, look at the shelves. I'm going to have little tags that have a description of each wine. And then, because a lot of us will buy wines based on the label, like that looks good, that speaks to me. And so
Guilty.
they can just grab the bottle and then take it to their table and then have it there. So either way.
I love the way you said that you are using this opportunity as well to amplify different voices and different points of view when it comes to wine. Exactly what do you mean by that?
So, like for example, we're going to feature wines made by women. We actually just brought on McBride Sisters, a wine that's made by two black women,
Hmm.
and this is their Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand. And people have, they loved it. They
That's the
never knew
Virgo
about it
wine,
before.
right? That's the Virgo wine.
I'm sorry.
The
Yes, yes,
Sauvignon
that's the
Blanc.
Virgo one. Yes.
Okay.
And so it's just really just I'd like to create a section also staff favorites. So that also empowers our staff. We have a predominantly BIPOC staff, and I'm really excited to get them engaged about wine and then give them their own space, literally on the shelf, of where they can, just talk about what they love, and giving them that sort of platform to be empowered and engaged, and share what they love with the guests as well.
How challenging in this time of COVID and the pandemic is for you to put together this list and actually get all the wines that you want to get for
Actually,
this?
not difficult at all. I mean, actually, because normally wines that I've had to fight for are surprisingly available, because restaurants have been shut down for 3 months. And so there's been sort of these wines that you typically see at a restaurant, with the restaurants being closed, or maybe they're reducing the amount of wines that they purchase, whatever it is. A lot of my sales reps had been furloughed also, just because, restaurants were closed. And so those wines are just sitting there, and come September, the new vintage comes in September, October. And
Okay.
so if I found a good deal, I'm going to be passing along those deals to my customers as well.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Can
Yeah.
you pick out some of your favorites that you're really feeling right
Oh, sure,
now?
absolutely. So I'm gonna flip this around again. Okay, so here we go. So I'm really excited about this right here. So this is from the Campania region of Italy. And this is Alianico, which is normally a red wine, but they actually made it into a white wine. And I had never even heard of that before. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm super excited to try that. This is a really delicious white wine from Portugal. It's one of
Ooh.
those wines that you open and like half the bottle's gone, and you're like, who drank that? It just goes down so easy. Moving on, Borgogna, one of my favorite classic producers from the Piedmont region. This is their Barollas and Barbarescos can be quite costly, but this is their everyday wine, their Barbera, which is great. We just changed up our pizzas, and this is a great pizza wine. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Ooh.
Oh God, there's so many. Let's see here. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is 2010, so it had just been sitting there, and nobody had, I guess, had seen it. But I think they sold it to one account, and I think maybe that sommelier left. But this is Vinci Raffalo. So this is made from old Carignan vines from the south of France, and I
Hmm.
think in some cases the vineyards are almost 100 years old. So, and that's a
Wow.
2010 vintage. So you don't have to wait for it to kind of come around. So I'm pretty excited about that. Lots of Pinot Noir because, well, hello. So for all you cancers out there, here you go. This is pretty cool right here. So this is Millefort. This is made from Malbec, and it's actually made from raisinated grapes. So it's an Amarone style wine from Argentina. And I thought that was
Ooh.
just so cool that they did that. So you can see, like I said, like every wine has a story, and there's a reason I picked it. So, probably not a wine that's for everyone, but
Hmm.
it's still kind of cool. So that is a lot of fun. I've always been a huge fan of Zinfandel. It's a grape variety that doesn't get nearly as much love. And Bialy is like one of my favorite producers, and so I was pretty excited to get the 2012 vintage of the Grande Vineyard. And this is a wine that you typically can only find on auctions. So I was really surprised to actually find it
Wow.
through my distributor still. So
Okay.
lots of goodies here, and then I just got my rosé, new rosé by the glass.